Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. This is Jared at 3C's Recreation. It's an exciting time of year because we're starting to get the 2024 models. This is our first CFMoto model for 2024. It's the ZForce 800 Trail. We got two of them in yesterday. And it's pretty cool because I have in stock, this is a used 2021 800 Trail that just came in like a week ago. So it's perfect timing to have that here. So we can do a really thorough comparison between the 2024 and the previous. So this is called the Gen 2. So if you guys are online looking at CFMoto machines and you see like G2 behind it, they're referring to the all new body style. This came out last year. There's a couple things that they refined for this year, which we're excited about. Maybe a couple pretty important things. And then other than that, it's pretty similar last year. So if you're new to our channel, thank you guys so much for checking it out. Please consider subscribing. It helps us grow and do more of this kind of thing. And if you're returning, thank you guys again for tagging along. So let's start with the all-new machine. We'll talk about MSRP, but I'm not super excited about that because things do change throughout the year. And every model year, things are different. So for this year, currently, as of October of 2023, this machine retails for $13,099. So we'll say $13,100. And then we only add freight here at the dealership. We don't add setup fees or any of that kind of stuff. So what you get for the base price is you're going to get the roof as standard. So this nice poly roof, 100% standard. You get power steering, which I can't really visualize, but it's a power steering model. And then it does have the 3,500 pound winch. These are all standard features. Can't really see the number on the winch, but it is a 3,500 pound winch. So these are three really important things. Back when we sold Polaris, I'd be upselling you. We'd be buying a base model, we'd be adding the roof, we'd be adding the winch, we'd be adding the power steering. And another big piece that comes stock for the Gen 2 is a full half door. You can see how nice this is. It's going to keep all the mud out of your lap as you're riding, and it's got a really nice swing to it. They're really quiet. When we're done here, we're going to ride both of these machines back to back. As long as I can beat the rain. The rain is coming in on us. I can feel it. And you can look at the Gen 1. So if you're on the used market trying to figure out what's best for you, this machine is 100% stock with the exception of the plow mount. So these folks are repeat customers. They've been very good to us and they pretty much just use this around their lawn. So it's pretty much brand new. You can see it's never really had mud on it. So it's a great machine to do a comparison with. And the main difference here is it did come with a roof. It does have the winch and the power steering, but this had more of like a quarter door where we would sell like a fill-in kit here. So we can still enclose this. I think it was like $250, so it was not a lot of money to get it, but it just wasn't factory and the fit and finish might not have been exactly the same. So those are some really important features that come stock on the ZForce. So if you're comparing it on the market to other brands, please check out that kind of thing. And let's do some pretty general comparisons between the two machines. I guess I should check tire size. These are a 26 with a 14-inch rim. I think that's pretty similar on these. This one is a, 26-14. So tire size is the same, but you can see the tread pattern's different for this year. Actually, last year. They changed this on the Gen 2. Almost all the machines got that, even their ATVs. So like behind me, there's a 23, or behind the camera, there's a 23 CForce 600 right there with that same camera, or with the same tire. These have a halogen bulb, so at night, this is more of that yellow light, like an older pickup truck, where now we've got the new LED headlights, so that's been much improved. And then on the inside of the cab, it's an all-new machine. There are so many differences between the Gen 1 and the Gen 2. We'll kind of start with the roll cage. So if you look at the roll cage, this is ready to accept a windshield. It's ready to accept a door kit. You can see it's like all notched out for it. And then it's ready to accept the rear window panel. And if we look over here, this is all round roll cage. So when we're installing accessories, we're going on the outside with a clamp. So it's never going to be a perfectly tight finish because you have to have room for that clamp. So you're going to have an air gap. So nothing wrong with that. But as things get better, now that you can get a full cab for this thing, it's going to be winter tight. So that's important for us up here in New York. It's actually a beautiful day. It's like October 25th and it is amazing out here. We have like these 4 days of beautiful weather. So we're taking full advantage. So inside the cab, we'll have a look here. We've got all new storage, which is so exciting. And again, these are 2023 changes as well, but compared to the Gen 1. So they come with a funnel, but this is such a deep storage bin. See how deep that goes? It's got the toolkit in there as well, which is so nice. Like, you can tip it up, and keep in mind, if you have a windshield, we're limited to opening it to here, but that's okay for this one because we don't trying to get you guys the angle. We don't go past that. It hits actually the roll cage before then. So you can open this one even with the windshield. The other storage bin, you are a little bit more limited. So if we put a windshield in here, we're limited to here, which is still plenty. Actually, it bottoms out anyway. So you can see if the windshield is in here, that's as high as it's going to go. And on the inside of here, you have your winch controller, and then you can see down here the USB port. So if you have your cell phone, it's got the seal on here. You can keep everything dry on the inside, which is nice. Oh no, it's starting to sprinkle. So we'll try to do this video and see what happens. So for 2024, huge difference right here. This is going to be such a big selling point. Thank you, CFMoto, for adding the parking brake. CFMotos, if you park on a hill, you have to have an e-brake to hold the machine still. You can't rely on the park gear because it'll get stuck in gear. It's not just a CFMoto thing. We've been selling power sports for a very long time, and it is so important to have an e-brake. So when you're on that hill, it's like a pickup truck. If you park it on a hill and you clunk it out of gear, it's really hard to get these out of gear once it's rocked down in. All new seating, way more comfortable. A lot more legroom because it's a longer stretch chassis compared to the Gen 1. And they removed a couple of the toggle switches that weren't super important. So they had one for diff lock mode. So this has, if I turn the key on, right here, we have 2-wheel drive, which is showing here on the dash, 4-wheel, and then 4-wheel diff lock. And when we were in this diff lock mode, that means all 4 tires are locked in. If we hit the gas, we're going to be limited to how fast we go. There used to be a rocker switch that you would hold down to unlock full power while you were in diff lock mode. And I'll show you what that switch looked like. So it's on this one right here. If I go here, here's that button. So if we were in 4-wheel diff lock, we would hold down on this and that would unlock full power. It wasn't really needed. Like, nobody needs to be going above 20 miles an hour while they're getting out of a mud hole. So that was the reason for that switch. So glad they got rid of it because it was not important. It does have on the dash 2 simple buttons. We have the 4-wheel drive switch, which is what we just played with. And then we have the normal and the sport mode. So right now we're in normal. You can see what the look of that is. Every machine that we sell, these are the full tank of gas. And on the display, they added more bars for the coolant side. It used to be 4 bars over here, and now they've gone to 5 bars, just like this side. And the reason is people were getting to 4 bars, I'm sorry, like to the 3rd one, they think they were going way too hot, but they weren't. It was okay. So they added another bar to kind of give you more safety. Like, you weren't thinking you were maxed out on it. But so that's normal mode, and that's sport mode. So you can see the little toggle switches up here, and it really changes the power delivery of it. And the engine light and the oil light will be on, and there should be a power steering light sometimes. It's hidden behind here. Come on until the machine's actually running. So that's normal for this, and that's back and forth. Easy to do in the dash. It is such an important switch because if you're trying to load this on a trailer, being in normal mode is way easier on the throttle. Sport mode is going to be a lot jumpier. So if you're in your garage and you're trying to move it like 1 inch further forward, way easier to do now with a normal mode. There are a couple maintenance things that we can try to touch base on real quick with one hand here. If I pull the bottom of the seat and come up on it, and I'll just rock it here for a moment. Behind here is our air filter. So I guess I could take the whole seat out, but air filter is right here. It's behind this. 2 tabs, you pull down, air filter is right behind it. And then also on this driver's side, let me do the same thing. Let me pull this seat up. You can see how easy the battery is to get to. It's right down there in that corner. This is for all your computer stuff, so like ECU, dealer tech plug-in, that's all behind there. But the beautiful thing is if these seats were pulled forward and this one was taken out, you have this huge access panel where you can get back inside of here to get to the front side of the motor. So doing like oil changes and that kind of maintenance is much easier because it opens up that whole front half of the motor up there. So I'm not going to do it because it's about to downpour on me, but that is underneath it here. And actually, if you want a more thorough version of that, I did a video on the 2023 CFMoto, and that would be identical. So trying to beat the rain today. So seats are easy to put in. This is easy to adjust back and forth. You just push down on both sides of this and you rock it in and out. The old ones are bolted in, like on that old 2021. Trying to get the camera to zoom in. It had bolts in it over there. So easier to adjust here. Parking brake is back, which we're really happy about. The dash layout is really simple, and your storage bins are easy to use, because if we look at the old style bin, it's pretty small. So let me go here and I'll show you. This is the only storage bin. She has a couple of her things in there. I got to call her. So there's a couple things in there for her. Oh, her owner's manual's in there. So really small, but it's a shallow bin, where the new ones are better. This did have on this side a small bin over here too, though, which is kind of cool. It's kind of like a hidden little bin. Kind of small though, so not super useful. But I guess if you're trying to tuck your wallet in there, that'd be nice. And this did not have the access panels, by the way. So you can see the old bodywork was just one solid piece of plastic, more or less. And the air filter housing was not as easy to get to. None of that was exposed. And the ECU. So these changes, if you're a maintenance guy and you want to do your own maintenance, this opens this machine up so much more. So much easier for you to get in and work on. Let me try to put this seat back on with one hand here. So basically it just kind of hangs on this pin and pushes in. And then on this side we have just the light switch, high beam and low beam. So much simpler layout. Parking brake. So excited about talking about that, because it's been something that we needed back on this. And the back has a storage bin. Oh, I brought the tape measure out because I wanted to give you guys a true width. They're claiming this to be a 50-inch wide, but if you guys watched my last video, you know it's not true. So I'm not sure the best way to do this. Maybe if I lay it on the ground. Let's do this. If I go to get it to pass 50 here. Try to get to stop. I think our stopper's kind of half broken off the tape measure. So I'm going to start there. Let's go here. Oh, yeah, see? Look at that. Let's pull this out. You got to think about the fender flares. If you're calling this a true 50-inch wide and you're trying to get down the trail, so I'm pretty confident that the widest part in this vehicle is the fender flares. It's not actually the doors. The doors are in further. And I talked about this last year. If you're trying to get a true 50-inch wide, if you took these fender flares off, it's going to save you like 1.5 inches on both sides. Not super desirable. I know why they did it, right? Like, we're trying to keep the mud off the driver and the passenger. So anyway, there we are. And let's look right down this thing. And last year it was like 54 inches. That's straight. Let's go straight down with the camera. Well, I can't go too close with the camera. Yeah, see 54 down there? That's exactly what I thought it was. So 54 inches is maybe more true to the width. Again, if you took these fender flares off, you're back down to 50. You lose a little bit of your mud protection. And why not? Let's do this one over here. So if you're on the used market again, let's slide this under here. Try to figure out where we're at on this side. Oh, look at, dude. No way. That's pretty close. Let's just go out just a little bit. The widest part on this is actually the door. So you can't really change this width, right? So we can change the new body style by removing the fender flare. Oh, we should talk about that. Look, there's really no mud protection off this rear tire. If you look at this rear tire, it's out past the plastic. And if we come over to the new body style, look how much further in that wheel is tucked. So mud protection is 1,000 times better on the new one. And this is totally exposed. The whole front of the tire, all the way around, is going to sling mud up onto you. So if you're trying to stay drier, especially this time of year, let's give you guys a true width here. Sorry, trying to get to focus. I'm going to say that's closer to like 56, 57. So it actually did a good job of making it narrower over here on the new one, but it's still not true 50. So watch yourself when you're buying that. Don't, it's not a true 50-inch wide vehicle. And length is a little bit longer on this. They did stretch the body. That's why we have more room inside the cockpit there. And I'm really excited because I kind of beat some of the rain. Looks like there's another wave coming, but so far we're beating the rain. So, okay, so LED headlights over here in the new one. Let me zoom out just a little bit more. So LED headlights, they both have power steering, winch, roofs. So for example, this one's around 13,000, but you can pick up something used like this, especially at our dealership, for like around 9. It only has 187 miles on it. So you can save yourself 4,000 by buying something like this compared to the new 2024. Other comparisons. So 10 inches of ground clearance, 62 horsepower, pretty much the same exact motor. I don't know the exact ground clearance. Hey, you know what? We have a tape measure. Let's give you guys the exact ground clearance here. Let's be super in depth. Let's see. So this one's been used, of course, so it's got a little bit of time on it. Springs are broken a little bit. I'm going to give that 10 because it is broken a little bit. And over here, oh, we are at almost 11. But these are going to settle. Again, 100% brand new. Hasn't really been ridden at all. And the last thing one of the last things I want to talk about before you ride them is you can see that the A-arms on the front of this ZForce are arched. So you see how that ground clearance we gain? I can't tilt the gimbal down anymore to get ground level, but see how it's an arched A-arm in the front? And that is so important for ground clearance, especially on like log on roads that are cupped out quite a bit. We're back here, and we got the plow mount that's kind of making things look worse. It's a straight line from the ball joint to the frame. So it's not arched on the used one. They added a synthetic rope because they did. That one's still cable over there. Synthetic rope because they were plowing with it. So that's the only other upgrade that we did to that one. So, all right, enough talking. Let me grab my helmet and my GoPro, and we'll drive this thing around. Okay, I'm actually just going to use my phone. Much easier. I can see what's going on the screen. So, turn the key one position, lights up our dash. I've got my foot on the brake down there. We're in park. E-brake is on, and I'll let go of the e-brake. Usually there's like an e-brake. Let's do a demo. Let's do a test because in the past, she's new. Gotta let her warm up a little bit. E-brake is on, and I've had customers in the past where they've driven away with the e-brake on. We've sold like 1,000 CFMotos, so we've had a little bit of everything happen here at the shop. So let's put it in gear. Will it let me move with the parking brake on? So parking brake is still on down there. Yep. So you guys gotta be super careful at home. It let me move with the parking brake on. So if you guys are at home and I don't see a parking brake logo on here, like it would be like a little insignia. It's telling me my seatbelt. Let me put that on real quick. It's not super exciting to watch that flash around. Okay, so they added the parking brake, which is what we all wanted. Hopefully I didn't just hit the mic too much. But you can drive with it on, so please be careful. You will melt your brakes off. It's starting to rain again. So we're in high range. We're in normal mode, right there, normal on the display, and I'm just kind of cruising around for a second. So there's no vibrations. I don't know if you can pick it up with a mic, but the doors do not vibrate at all. They're not rattly, not clunking around. Like super smooth operation. So we are in high range, so it's geared higher, and normal mode makes it easier as well. But like, if you're trying to move around, it's so easy. This thing is so smooth. I just love the new body styles of CFMoto. Let's do a turning radius real quick before somebody comes up our driveway. So, straight wheel, let's clock it. So we'll go all the way. We're in high range. Still in normal mode. See if we can give like a, well, the driveway will get tore up, you'll see it. So, trying to get the gimbal to keep up with us here. This is actually a really tight radius. Okay, that's really impressive. So, let me back up, show it to you guys. I don't know what more you want out of it side by side. Like, see how tight that was? You can see where I just tore it up. It's actually a really tight turning radius. So if you're on the trails, this thing's gonna be great. I'm so excited for customers. So let's punch it in high. It's got no miles on it, so I don't wanna hurt it, but we'll give it a go here. So smooth. I didn't punch it all the way. I'm not going to do that. I don't believe in that. It's a brand new machine. We just kind of gently accelerated. I didn't want the tires to break loose. But now let's try sport mode. Let's see what happens here. So if we go sport, you can see it change on the dash. We're still in high range because that's when I think sport mode will be used. Oh yeah. Okay. Probably couldn't see it, but I felt it. The back end started to break loose a little bit. That was sport mode. I didn't apply the gas to break the tires loose, but just the difference in modes is huge. That totally wanted to break loose coming up the driveway. You can see the dust. So sport mode's awesome. Like, it's gonna unleash it. And let's just do low range for you guys. So now we're in low. It tells us here on the dash that we're in low. And this is gonna be your worker mode. So I would probably be in you can see how jerky that was. So if I'm in sport and low, like, it definitely just launched me, because now we're geared lower and I'm in like a more aggressive gear in the ECU. So now we're going to be more relaxed here. So if we're towing something, I would definitely be in normal and low. Yeah, way easier takeoff. I'm gonna get out and give you, so low range is good up to like 20 miles an hour is what I would use low range for. Let me get out and we'll just do a walk around of like the sound of the vehicle from the outside, and then we'll hop in the older body style. So ta-da, here it is. This thing is so impressive for 13 grand brand new. I don't know how you buy anything used on the market. I don't like Polaris or K&M wise. Like, why would you spend like 12 grand on a 2014 Polaris Razor? This is brand new with a warranty. So it's really quiet. I'm not sure how good the Rode microphones really work for sound. We've been doing some dirt bike videos and the microphones don't always pick up the sound the best. So hopefully the audio driving back and forth wasn't too bad. So all right, that's my review of the 2024. Let's hop in this 2021. Turn the key off here. Oh, I had the seat all the way back. It's super oh, another big difference. This seat is adjustable with down here. You have an actual lever, you pick up on it and it adjusts the seat. One of the things I struggled with selling this body style, let me get rid of the tape measure. One of the things I struggled with this body style was adjusting the seat for the drivers. So right now I'm gonna be cramped in it, I can already tell, because this seat is all the way forward. So you flip the seat over, there's 4 screws, you unscrew them and you slide the seat on the base, then you retighten it to wherever you want it to be. So yes, the seat is adjustable, but it's not as easy as me just getting in and sliding my butt back. So for this demo purpose, I'm gonna be cramped because I'm not gonna actually take the tools, flip it over and undo it. But Karen, she traded this in. She was shorter than I am. I'm 6'5". So this is gonna be tight. Again, I'm tall. So I was very comfortable in that, even as tall as I am. So let me show you what I mean. You probably can't see my legs all that well. So right here, my knee. So I'm way too tall for this thing, the way the seat is set up. But even pushing that seat back like 3 or 4 inches isn't totally gonna cure this problem. So if you're tall like I am, my knees are really bent, and this is not gonna be comfortable for an all-day ride. Just look at like the angle of my foot. Like, I'm picking my foot up so hard right now that after like 30 minutes of riding this thing, my calves are gonna be shot. I'm gonna be thinking about that rather than what we're riding. So keep that in mind as well. So, okay, we're in park. Parking brake is off. Put my foot on the brake. And a few more buttons on this one. This has got the kill switch, which they got rid of. It had the override for diff lock, which they got rid of. They got rid of the horn, high beam, low beam, and then this is lights off, running lights, or lights on. So they simplified everything. You pretty much have a light switch and a mode switch on the new ones, and that's it. And the diff lock button is actually over here. So 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, and then diff lock mode are all exposed under this button. No USB ports on this. We just had the 12 volt and then the winch connector. So right now I got the high beams on. Turn those off. So we started in high range. Oh, there's no mode, so it's high or low. That's our options with this one. I do like the display, so I'm not gonna lie. I think, like, for the passenger, you can see this display 1,000 times better. Over here, it's like the driver only, which is okay, but it's fun. So there's there was a bump back there in our driveway from whenever we put the driveway down. There was like big chunks of blacktop, and one of them's kind of getting exposed just from time. And I just went over that and I felt it in this one. I did not feel it in the other one. Let's try to do this turn thing a little bit further back. And I'm going to try to line it up so we're the same. So let me go over here. Alright, you guys can see my marks right there where I did the last turn. We're going to start here. We'll full lock it. Try to keep up with my GoPro, or the phone. And we are, oh, it's actually really good. Let's back up and check out what we just did. So, we'll kind of center the machine here. A little wider. You can't tell. So my first tire mark is over here, inside more on the Gen 2. This tire is definitely out. Like the inside tire is definitely out like 2 more feet. You can kind of see it over here as well. It's out like 2 more feet. So turning radius is definitely sharper on the new one. We can tell that for sure. We'll just drive this thing back down the driveway in low range. 120 miles, I was wrong. I thought it was 190. So hardly any time on this thing. And again, I'm kind of cramped because I'm so tall. So let's just go back down the driveway here. Definitely feel those bumps better. So like where our millings meet the concrete right there. Oh, you know what? You guys want to walk around to this one? Give you a walk around to the sound of this one as well real quick. I'm so thankful that the rain like held off for this video. I was gonna get soaked. You can see they're halogen bulbs. They're that yellow light. They're not the bright LEDs. But if you're trying to save some money, under 10 grand, you get a next to new side-by-side. How do you beat that? Most companies are still selling you four-wheelers for like $9,500. I can sell you a full side-by-side, winch roof, power steering, plow mount, ready to go have a great time on the trails with your friends for under 10 grand. So CFMoto's crushing it. Very thankful. Let me turn this thing back off. So it's pretty quiet. Noise isn't hardly any different to me. Thank you guys so much for watching our videos. Again, I am Jared at 3C's Recreation. We do a ton of riding videos, especially with the dirt bikes. We're very passionate about the sport. This was just a walk around of the first 2024 CFMoto. If you guys are interested in more of these videos, please consider subscribing. Trying to get this channel to 10,000 subscribers. We're like 700 short. We're getting there. Again, Jared at 3C's. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you found it helpful. Please comment down below and say thanks. Have a great day and enjoy the ride.